Welcome back to Real Life Reviews, and in this short little video we're going to take a look at some swim training fins for the pool. As over here in the UK we're moving into winter, our thoughts are moving a bit more away from the open water, except for the very brave ones of us, and we're heading towards the pool a bit more and probably thinking about developing our technique and our strength and endurance. And leg kick is something that I think pretty much all of us could do with working on. The fins we're looking at today are the Finis Edge Fins. Obviously they come from the company Finis, and they're a little bit of a, I won't quite go as far as say radical design, but they're very different to what you might be used to in terms of a pool fin. So let's start with just a little spin round of the fin. You're looking at its underside there. If I turn it round, there's the top side, and we're looking at the various vents and guides in it, and the foot. There we go. Okay, and just from front on. Now, manufacturers of swim fins tend to try to focus your mind on certain areas as to what the fin is designed for. Some will talk about technique, others will talk about simply using it for fat burning and doing more endurance-y type work. Others will talk about strength building. And then I suppose in a fourth angle, companies will talk about the technology that's in the fin. Finis claim to have all those areas in this fin. So let's just look at them one at a time. Working on technique. So the whole concept here of the shortness of the fin, where your foot comes out. So that's the top. You don't see the end of your foot, but if you look at the bottom, you will see up here that your toes, this is quite straight, there's no gripping on it, your toes come through when you put the fin on, and the whole fin is designed to feel like a natural extension of the foot. So when your foot is in here, your foot's coming through, and is probably, your toes are going to be right towards the end of the little arch here. So the fin itself does not extend a long way from your foot like a number of what are often termed long pool fins do. The second aspect that I mentioned just back then was about fat burning, and the very fact that your foot is sitting pretty much in the length of this fin and you're working with this increased surface area but in a very natural format does mean that you work harder. And if you're working over a period of time and you keep yourself in the right zone, and depending how you number your zones and work your zones out, and we're looking at what I would term the zone 2 type area, then yep, these actually do, and I've had these for quite a few months now, these do actually work on that general fat burning endurance type activity. Now, it's not my favorite type of swimming. I leave my long plodding to actually swimming in an Ironman rather than the pool so much, and I want the more technique and the strength side. But if you wish to use this fin for it, then you're going to get quite a decent amount of results from there, as long as you work to your right heart rates and you keep your zones right. The big plus for me on these that I like them for is strength building. And these fins are designed, if I turn it round again to the underside, they're designed, so let's get now the fin in its sort of almost more natural position in the water. They're designed to catch water on both the up as well as the down kick. And that means that on the up kick, you're getting an activation of the hamstrings and glutes that in many fins you don't get. Many fins are designed softer in one way. Their ridges and their ridge marks and lines and their strengthening area are designed for you to be able to work on the down, which is keeping your body and helping with your alignment, but on the up to get them up without too much resistance and nice and easy. The thing about these fins is they will allow you to come up, and you're working in that area as well, and therefore engaging those extra muscle groups. And that brings us neatly to kind of the fourth selling point of these fins, and that's what Finis term as SmartFin Technology. And that's all about, as far as Finis are concerned, with the blade angle and the hydrodynamic vents, to say that again, the hydrodynamic vents that are in the fins themselves seen from the top there, and also if we look from the bottom and coming through. So the blade angle and the hydrodynamic fins that Finis are claiming combine to give power with a natural kick angle. And I've got to say, from my experience, and I will be the first to admit that swimming is the weakest of my 3 areas of triathlon, but I've got to say they do this better than any fin that I've come across, and certainly better than your standard long fin. So what's the target market for these? Well, actually, it's all round. It's for the fitness side, but also triathletes and competitive swimmers as well. In terms of fit, well, what I would say, and it took me a couple of goes to get the right size, there is quite a large number of sizing options here, but the foot, this is why I'm coming to, is pretty narrow. So I worked out I'm a 42 European normal size in training shoes, normal fins and that sort of thing. If going for my normal size, I don't think I've got particularly wide feet. I could not get these on. I couldn't get them on at all. And I had to send them back and go for another size up and get a wider foot entry. So if in doubt, go big on these. Now, the next thing is that I thought they would be pretty, or had potential to be uncomfortable with having the heel loop, so that went round the back of your heel, around your Achilles tendon. And as a scuba diving instructor, where I've come across this type of thing before, then it's been very hard to wear them with bare feet. You need booties, something around them. These are made from 100% silicone, and they are the most comfortable fins that I have had to put on. So there was no issue with the banding at the heel, rubbing or digging in around the heel, the Achilles tendon, that sort of area. The other element to consider with comfort is, if I turn it over to the underside again, as I mentioned earlier, where your toes come out, it's a full open toe width. And that means there's no constriction on your toes there. It's very natural and your toes can splay. So comfort wise, yep, again, these are the most comfortable pool fins that I've come across. Ultimately then, can I recommend the Finis Edge fins? Wholeheartedly, yes I can. I love them, I absolutely love them. Is there a drawback? Well, I guess the only real drawback is if you're working in a lane group and the rest of the group are wearing long fins, they're probably going to be a little bit quicker with the same effort level than you are. You're going to work harder to produce the same with these. How do you look at that? Personally, I look at that as a good thing, because if I'm training, I want to work hard, and I also want to be focusing on the technique. And you've just got to be careful with your mental approach in that scenario, that you don't rush things just to try to keep up, but work on what you're meant to be working on. Yep, recommendation, 100%. I love these fins. Thank you for watching this video, and if you've enjoyed it, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and share with your friends. If you're interested in buying these fins, well, in the description down below, we've got a link to Wiggle, one of our partners here on the channel, and for every bit you spend, we get a tiny proportion, and it helps keep the channel going. Don't worry, you don't spend any more. In fact, you can get access to some really good deals. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, well, click on the little round picture down there, and to go to our website, just down there. For other great Finis products, well, we've got a review on the Tempo Trainer, just up there, and we've also got a review on their agility paddles, just up there. Thank you again for watching.